Hello and welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are so inclined. Today's video, we've got another headset deathmatch. We've got the SteelSeries, Arctis 5, and we've also got the original Logitech G Pro X. This isn't the new one that's wireless, these are both wired headsets and they both have inline features, which is why I thought this would be a good comparison. They're kind of even on price as well. You've got the SteelSeries Arctis 5 at this much, and you've got the Logitech G Pro X at this much, both on Amazon, so, you know, fair reflection of price. Anyway, there's 6 criteria, much like in the previous video, which I'm sure is showing up on the screen right about here, just now. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Okay, so this round is all about accessories and features that actually come with the headset itself. So I suppose with the G Pro X we may as well get this out of the way. It comes with a carry case, not quite as plush as the one from the Corsair Virtuoso, however it does come with one and it is rather nice and it's kind of big, so if you do want to take your headset with you anywhere, at least you've got a carry case for it. You also get these, which I very much applaud Logitech for. These are a spare set of actual ear pads. Now the ones that come with the headset as standard are in fact leatherette, so you do get a bit of sweat build up with that, so you can swap them out and put these on. You'll notice I haven't, because I don't really use this that often. I have an entire plethora of headsets to choose from and I tend to go wireless. But anyway, that is a very, very nice touch. You also get the detachable mic. Now I both like and unlike a detachable microphone. I mentioned earlier these can be lost if you do take them out, but the actual head of it is keyed, again, so you can't put it in the wrong way around, which is helpful. However, I do prefer a mic that can just retract so you can't lose it. You also get the 3.5mm jack. Of course, it's the cable that wires you into the computer itself. Now, if you're using a microphone and you have one of these and you're using your line out feature to get audio into your headset, you'd have no mic input, so you get this. This is just a little splitter that you simply connect the jack into at one side, the other side into the headset, and away you go. With the G Pro X you do get this inline dongle, so you simply slot this into a Type A USB and then simply connect the jack into the back of that. This is not a Blue mic. Blue Voice is just the software they're using for it. No Blue hardware has been used on this headset at all. So the features and accessories that come with the Arctis 5, as you can see, there's not a great deal. We've got a couple of wires and this little connector here. Now this little wire is an absolute beast. So this thing, USB Type A into the back of the PC, and then you connect this into here like so, or like so, however which way it goes round, and then this connects into the back of the headset itself, into one of the ear cups, which is all very wiry, I know. However, this little beast here, I mentioned this on the video I did specifically about this headset. This is the chat to game mixer. Now I'm a massive, massive advocate for this. People have commented before saying you can use software to do it, but honestly, I don't see the relevance of that. If you can just do it on the fly with a dial, why wouldn't you? It's more accurate and it's exactly how you want it. Now this little thing seems tiny and it seems really light, but when you are playing and you have it sat down, it doesn't move. And it's very, very convenient. I have it on the left-hand side so I could still have a free trigger finger, as it were. I do like this. I like that there's very little nonsense that comes with it. You just get the bits that you need to actually make the headset function properly, which is massive kudos from me, and we haven't had to pay for another headset. But let's have a quick look at the actual SteelSeries engine software as well, much like we will with the G Pro X, just to have a look through there, because I suppose that is a feature of it. So we'll have a quick look at that now.
So here we are in the SteelSeries software, the SteelSeries Engine 3 to be more precise, and you may have noticed the mic audio has changed. I'm actually recording this on the Arctis 5. Normally when you come in, 7.1 is actually turned off, so this is all you get in terms of the audio, but the moment you turn it on you do get a plethora of options. Now I have my sound profile set to game, simply because it says here, designed for accuracy, optimized for gameplay. And I just thought that sounded great, so I just rolled with it. But I don't have any bass enhancements on, and I don't have dialogue enhancements on either. It just keeps the sound fuller, I find, even though the EQ is simply flat. But to me that's the best, but you can change these. You can do your own custom, so just completely mess around with all of this, which to be honest is sometimes pretty good, but the EQ isn't massive, so you're not getting a great deal of things done with it. But performance, I love this, just very high pitched. No, just go with flat. That's my recommendation for all of these. Or cinema, that's sometimes usually quite rich and full if you're playing a scenic game. Anyway, we're going off topic. So this is the Logitech software, or the G Hub to be more precise. So let's have a look at the Pro X. Now immediately when you go into this screen you do realise that you are greeted with far more information than you get with the Arctis 5. So let's have a quick look over everything. Just in the acoustics section, down here on the left hand side you get volume, which is the volume of the actual headset itself, the mic input volume, which I always recommend have that set a little bit lower than full so you don't get a lot of mess at the top end. Now in presets, you've got all these things down here that you can just select through, and then you've got your default. So first person shooter, all of that jazz, just to try and make things a bit easier. But personally, I just like the use of surround. Now, the surround sound settings on this headset are pretty good, and you can in fact test it. Now in terms of the surround modes, I just have it on gaming again. I don't know why I always select gaming, but I just tend to. It feels the best in game, believe it or not. Now the DTS Super Stereo mode I just leave to off, but you can change it between these just to find something of your own liking.
For me, in terms of the accessories and features of these two headsets, I think it's a fairly even keel. On the Arctis 5, we do have that inline chat-to-game mixer, which, yes, I heavily weight towards that, but I think it's an essential thing for a headset to have. I just find it remarkably useful. In terms of all of the features on the headset, I think that chat-to-game mixer is something that I use more frequently than the rest. On the G Pro X, yes, we get the carry case that I'll never use. I'm sure some of you will, but most of us, our gaming headset is at our PC and that's it. But you do get that Blue Voice software on the actual sound card, but that does only work on PC, and we will get into that later. But I'd also like to point out that the Arctis 5 does have the retractable mic, and I think for me that evens the scale on both of these. So for this round, for me, it's a draw.
All of the feature of this headset, all of the marketing is geared towards this, the Blue Voice software that comes with that USB sound card. It's weird that it doesn't come with this automatically turned on, and I'm going to press the button in a moment and you will hear the difference when you actually activate the Blue software. So here we go. Now immediately you'll hear the difference in vocal presence that simply clicking that button actually throws out. Now that's the Blue Voice software, and as I mentioned previously, there isn't any Blue hardware with this microphone, it's simply the software itself. Now there are various settings that we can change. We'll go with Broadcaster 1 and see what that sounds like. So this is it in Broadcaster 1 mode, and I just like that you can play around with this thing. Compared to most headsets, you don't normally get anything like this for the microphone itself. So here we are in the mic settings for the Arctis 5, and it's just a stark comparison. You can't really change anything with this microphone, not like you can on the G Pro X, where you can change pretty much everything with it. And honestly, sometimes less is more. I don't dislike the microphone on this headset in any capacity. I'm sure you can hear it. It's very crisp, it doesn't sound overly nasally, and it's kind of nice. And the fact that you don't have to mess around with any of the setup, I mean, all you can do with this is change the mic volume. You can change the noise reduction, which I wouldn't have it off because it does pick up a lot of sound, and I wouldn't have it set to high because then it compresses the sound a bit too much. So it's either low or medium for me personally, and I've just put it on medium for this instance because there are things going on around me. But there we are. I think this round does go to the Logitech, but let's move on.
Comfort. The shortest of all the rounds. It's a shoe-in. It's easy. It goes to the Arctis 5. Now, I haven't just come to a snap decision on this, by the way. I have reviewed both of these headsets individually on the channel previously. I'm sure the links are in the description below. However, just for this video alone, for the comparison, I have used both of these for 15 hours in the run-up to making this video, both playing games and listening to music. And honestly, the ski goggle-esque design on this, the strap around the actual top of it itself is so comfortable, you barely feel like you're wearing these. Now, they're not quite as comfortable as the Arctis 7, however, they are more comfortable than these. The traditional design, I fear, although it looks better, is kind of on its way out. So let's move on to the next round. Style, design and build quality. I'm sure it showed up on the screen just before this. Now, I do like this. Again, much like in the previous Deathmatch, there was the Virtuoso which used the classic design. And I do like it. This feels very, very robust and it just snaps back to the correct place. And I like these. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but it's a coiled wire that connects the actual headset itself, the ear cup, to the rest of the headband. Now the headband is very well cushioned while we're on that topic. It is very nice. Usually the classic designs do point load a bit on the top of your head. However, this does not. And the clamping force, it's very good. It feels remarkably comfortable and it does drown out a lot of that background noise. Now, again with the design, another, I suppose, feature is this, a detachable microphone, which these are quite functional if you're just wanting to listen to music or anything like that, but you can lose them. And I have heard reports of many people actually losing their microphone for various headsets, not just the G Pro X, and having to get another. But it is quite a nice design. Now, the actual housing of the ear cup itself is plastic around the outside, but it does have this, what at least appears to be a bit of milled, machined aluminium around the side with the Logitech logo. Not the old school one, but the new G logo, which is very nice. And these, I suppose, arms that hold the ear cup to the rest of the headband themselves are made of metal. Listen. And they do sound very robust. Now I have had reports, only few to be fair, where you get a bit of squeak in the actual housing itself that holds the arms to the headband, but I've never had such an issue. To be honest, these have always been very, very solid, very stable, a very good headset, so I do kind of like the design on these. Now, the Arctis 5. Now this sort of stays on the ski goggle design that Arctis series tends to go down other than the Arctis 1. Now not quite to the extent that they did on the Arctis 7 where it's a big aluminium band and then this ski goggle jazz running over the top. This is just it's a plastic band, but it's very, very robust, and it probably does have some steel running through it somewhere, but the housing for the ear cups, much like all the Arctis series, is plastic but does feel rather solid, and they have stuck with their sort of fibre material. Good for airflow as far as I'm aware, and they are remarkably comfortable over long sessions because of that, but they are very, very comfortable. Now, the clamping force of these can be adjusted by simply changing the ski goggle strap across the top, but these are remarkably comfortable and the clamping force is good. They don't feel like they're gonna just rock off your head, and like I say, you can make them tighter. Now the arms themselves for this don't exist, it's just a swivel here. Now they can swivel all the way in, so if you are just listening to music and want to put them around your neck, you can. However, they do feel a bit tight on the old larynx, so I wouldn't necessarily advise it. Now the microphone on this, again, in keeping with the bulk of the Arctis range, again, other than the Arctis 1, is a pull-out mic, and I do like this feature. I think it's very, very good. You can't lose the microphone. It coils back in however it does on the inside of this. I may take this open at some point just to have a look at how it actually coils round. But it is very good, and it does have a light on the end that'll tell you when you're on mute. But overall, I think, in terms of build quality, as much as I like the Arctis 5s, I do feel that the style of these is better. I feel that the build quality is, again, slightly better. I like the sound of that. And I do like classic style. I'm not going to say that I don't, because I very much do. So for me, round one does go to the G Pro X non-wireless edition.
So we've changed it up a little bit for this video. We've gone with the Division 2 benchmark, mostly because I don't have my sim racing equipment to try it on there. So we'll just listen to some gunfire. Well, it's all very dramatic, but it does get a bit mushy as it's trying to adapt that sort of stereoscopic sound as it would be looking out in front of it and turn that into surround sound. It was quite a... yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't great, to be perfectly honest, in the 7.1. But let's move on, and we'll try the Arctis 5. So we've got the same test again, but with the Arctis 5. Now, the drivers on this headset are definitely smaller than that on the Pro X, but this might work to its advantage with the more precision audio of gunfire. But let's give it a listen. To be fair, it wasn't really any better. If anything, the sound was a bit more mushy, to be honest. I think it was less precise than I expected it to be. It was definitely less precise than the Pro X. So yeah, this round goes to the Logitech. The Pro X takes it.
So compatibility. Honestly, neither of these are very good. The Arctis 5, the main selling point for that is the chat-to-game mixer. You can't use that on PlayStation or Xbox. The Pro X, the Blue Voice dongle, so you can use the software. You can't use that on PlayStation and you can't use that on Xbox. So the main selling point of both of these headsets is completely redundant when it comes to consoles in general. So in terms of compatibility, it's a draw. So to conclude, the Pro X takes it 3-1. There's been 2 draws, 3 victories for the Pro X and the 1 seldom win for the Arctis 5. A good win though, it was comfort, which is an important one. Now that's not to say that the Pro X is by far and away a better headset than the Arctis 5, because it's really not. If you're gaming on PC, both of these, to be perfectly honest, are fairly even. If you want to muck around with the mic settings, then go for this, because that is kind of cool. I did enjoy that and I do like that feature on this. If, however, you want a chat-to-game mixer that's nice and convenient and a very comfortable headset, go with the Arctis 5. If you were doing long sessions, I'd definitely recommend the Arctis 5 anyway, because it is a remarkably comfortable headset with that ski goggle-esque design. Well, I suppose that's the end of the video. If you did watch to the end and you liked what you saw, do please leave a thumbs up, and why not subscribe? If you do subscribe, why not hit the notification bell and all that jazz? If you didn't enjoy the video, well, thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry I couldn't entertain you, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be another video soon. Thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.